Sometime after a dog turns 10, almost every family quietly notices something they don't talk about. Your old dog stops loving the way puppies love. The tail still wags, but slower. The greeting at the door is shorter. The jumping, the spinning, the loud affection. Most of it gets quieter. Some families read this as their dog losing interest, as affection fading. It's almost never that. What's actually happening is one of the most studied and most misread shifts in canine behavior. You've felt it without naming it. The way they look at you a little longer than they used to. The way they choose your side of the couch. You've told yourself it's just old age. But somewhere underneath that, you've wondered if you've been missing something. You have. In the next 10 minutes, I'll walk you through the 7 quiet signs your senior dog uses to tell you they've chosen you as their person. The ones nobody warns you about. And the one, number 7, that researchers say is the deepest expression of love a dog is capable of giving. Stay until the end. Most owners only recognize 5 of these. Number 6 is the one that makes everyone cry. Here's what we know. In 2015, a research team led by Dr. Takefumi Kikusui at Azabu University published a study in Science that quietly changed how we understand dogs. When dogs and their bonded humans look into each other's eyes, both release oxytocin, the same hormone mothers release with newborns, the same chemical loop between 2 species. The researchers called it co-evolution of love. Since then, attachment researchers have shown something remarkable. Dogs form attachment styles almost identical to the ones human infants form with their mothers. And as a dog ages, those bonds don't weaken. They concentrate. They pour slowly into one specific person. The signs that you are that person are quieter than you'd think, but they're everywhere, once you know what to look for. 1. The slow tail thump. Most people watch for the wag. The wag is loud. The whole body moves. It's the love we recognized when our dogs were puppies. That's not what an old dog uses with the person they've chosen. What they use is the thump. You'll see it at 6 a.m. when you stir, but haven't gotten up yet. You'll see it when you walk past their bed, and they don't have the energy to stand. The tail rises, falls, thump, and rests again. The thump is almost always reserved for one person. It's affection downsized to fit a tired body, but never downsized so far that it disappears. If your old dog thumps when you walk in, even without lifting their head, they've chosen you. They're loving you the only way their body still allows to. The exhale when you sit down. This one almost nobody notices, because it's been happening for years. When you sit down where your dog is already lying, listen for it. There's an exhale, sometimes a sigh, sometimes just a longer breath out than the breaths around it. It happens within about 3 seconds of you settling. That sound is the most studied stress response in domestic dogs. Researchers measuring canine cortisol and heart rate have shown that dogs in the presence of their bonded human display measurable nervous system regulation. Heart rate slows, breathing deepens, cortisol drops. The exhale you keep hearing is the audible signal of that whole shift happening inside their body. Your old dog isn't sighing because they're bored. They're sighing because their nervous system just dropped down a gear, the way it does for a child whose mother just walked into the room. You being there changes their body. Quick thing, if any of these are landing, tap the like. It helps YouTube push this to other people who are quietly loving an old dog tonight. The next one will surprise you. 3. Resting their muzzle on your foot. Watch where your dog rests their head when they sleep near you. Younger dogs aren't picky, but somewhere around their 10th or 11th year, most dogs develop a very specific habit. When they lie near their chosen person, they place their muzzle, gently, deliberately, on top of that person's foot. It looks small. It's not. The muzzle is one of a dog's most sensitive structures. When a dog rests it on your foot, they are placing the most sensitive part of their body in physical contact with you. They are tethering their nervous system to yours. Behaviorists call it contact anchoring, the canine equivalent of a child reaching for a parent's hand in their sleep. Dogs only do it with the human whose presence regulates them most. If your old dog has started doing this, they aren't being clingy. They're plugging in. 4. The slow blink. This one comes straight out of the oxytocin research. When your old dog looks at you from across the room and slowly closes their eyes, really closes them, holds for a beat, opens them again, they're not falling asleep. They're not bored. The 2015 Kikusui study found that the longer a dog and their bonded human held each other's gaze, the higher the oxytocin spike in both. The slow blink is the dog's way of breaking that gaze gently, saying, "I see you. I'm safe. I'm still here." It's the most regulated form of affection a dog has access to. By the time a dog hits their senior years, it often replaces the loud kinds entirely. When you catch your old dog slow blinking at you across the room, try it back. Hold their gaze, close your eyes slowly, open them again. Most owners are floored by what they see. The dog will do it back. That's a conversation. In a language you didn't know you spoke. 5. Choosing your chair when you're not in it. This one breaks people. Have you ever come home and found your dog asleep in your spot on the couch? Most owners read this as a dog being a dog, finding the warmest cushion. It's not that. We've known it isn't since the 2018 work on canine olfactory attachment. When a dog is separated from their bonded human, they seek out objects, fabric, and surfaces that carry that human's scent, specifically the strongest concentration available. Your spot on the couch, after years of you sitting there, is essentially saturated with you. To your dog's nose, it's the most concentrated you in the entire house. When your old dog naps in your chair while you're at work, they're not stealing your seat. They're spending the day pressed against the closest thing to you they can find. It's why they leave it the second you come home. The original is back. 6. They wait until you fall asleep. This is the one that makes everyone cry. If your old dog follows you to bed, watch what they do once you turn off the light. Most owners assume the dog falls asleep first. They almost never do. Studies of canine sleep latency in bonded households confirm it. Your dog stays in a light, wakeful state, eyes mostly closed, ears still moving, until your breathing pattern changes, until your breath slows, until you're under. Only then do they let themselves go. Researchers think this behavior is rooted in the same instinct that makes wolves take watch shifts in a pack. One member stays awake until everyone is safe. Most domestic dogs never lost the impulse. They just narrowed it down to one person. If your old dog is sleeping a beat after you every single night, they aren't just sharing a room with you. They're making sure you got there. 7. They look for you when they're confused. This is the deepest sign on the list. As dogs age, especially past 11 or 12, their world gets a little dimmer. The hallways get less certain. The rooms feel less reliable. Here's what almost every owner has seen, but few have understood. When your old dog wakes up disoriented from a nap, when they pause too long in a doorway, when they stand in a corner for a beat the way they didn't used to, watch what they do next. They look for you. Not the food bowl, not the door, you. They lift their head, scan the room, find your face, and the moment they do, you can almost see the relief move through their body. Their shoulders drop. Whatever map their brain was struggling to load, they just found a landmark on it. That landmark is you. The Olby lab at NC State has been measuring this exact behavior. Dogs with mild cognitive decline weren't disoriented evenly across their environment. They were disoriented less in the presence of their primary attachment figure. The person isn't just emotionally important. The person becomes a cognitive structure. When your old dog looks for you in their confused moments, they're not asking for help. They're using you as the only thing in the world that hasn't shifted. You are the part of their map that still works. Go back to the beginning of this video, to the moment I described, your old dog, 10 years in, loving you a little quieter than they used to. Now you know. The wag got smaller because the body got tired, but the love didn't shrink. It poured down, instead, into 7 small signals you've been receiving for years and now have words for. Your old dog isn't loving you less. They're loving you the only way an aging body knows how, quietly, specifically, with every small, deliberate motion they have left. They chose you a long time ago. They're still choosing you. Tonight, with every thump of the tail, every exhale, every slow blink in the lamplight, you were always their person. You always will be.